2024. Music is popping. You got albums from rap artists, R&B artists, pop, indie, alternative, classic rock, hard rock, punk rock, alternative pop, indie pop. So many different artists are out. But there's only one album in 2024 that has taken the charts by storm, particularly the Billboard 200, with 12 consecutive weeks at number 1, 15 non-consecutive weeks at number 1, and 18 total weeks in the top 5. This is the only album in 2024 with numbers like these. To be in the top 5 for 18 weeks, no other album can say that. We can say a lot. We can say, oh, it's because there's multiple variants. We can say that it's because new editions are released every month. Sure, whatever. It's the name of the game. But the fact is, people are buying it. People are streaming it. People are listening to it. Is it a revolutionary album? Is it even good? What is the hype behind it? Welcome to Just a Boy and His Camera. It's your boy EJ. And yes, we are discussing the Tortured Poets Department album from no other than Taylor Swift. The Tortured Poets Department album was released in April of 2024. This is the 11th studio album of Taylor Swift's collection, not counting the re-recordings. Is this one different from anything else? What was different about the Tortured Poets Department? When you are as big as Taylor Swift and you release as much music as she has over the last several years, you can get outplayed, overplayed, and get on folks' nerves. And baby, let's be honest, all that has been true and stands true for Taylor Swift among the fans, the enemies, the haters, the supporters, the critics, anything and everything in between. The woman can't always catch a break on the negative things that surround her and her career. But does the Tortured Poets Department deserve praise or hate? Let's peel back the TTPD. Let's find out what makes this album special, if anything, or what makes people state that this album is horrible, if it even is. So lately the trend in music is shorter albums. Most albums released in 2024 are less than an hour long. We was not expecting 31 tracks from Taylor Swift. No, we were expecting around 15. The original digital album came out with 16 original tracks, ending with the bonus track, The Black Dog. Fast forward just a few hours, and another album came out. And it was not just one additional track. Oh no. It was the remaining 14 tracks with an additional bonus track, The Manuscript, giving us 31 new Taylor Swift tracks. But this is not the first time we have seen an artist release that many tracks on an album. No, Chris Brown has done it. Morgan Wallen has done it. Now Taylor Swift has done it. But do fans really want to listen to 31 tracks in a row from their artists? According to the charts, absolutely. And without even digging into the album's performance, it was very clear that the fans wanted to hear the album. With 18 weeks in the top 5, with almost 5 months of charting, let's break down these tracks. Because when you have an album with 31 tracks, they're not all going to get played in the same mindset. They're all not going to get played equally. Some tracks may fall on deaf ears. It's just the name of the game, the nature of the beast when you release such a massive project, especially during a year that music is dropping from big artists, emerging artists, classic artists. Ooh, if you ain't found you some albums to rock to this year, you've been living under a rock. We got some gems out this year. TTPD is a gem. People say it's a snooze fest. People say it's dull, it's boring. While yes, the album truly is not for the radio format, it does not mean that it's dull, boring, or insignificant to the ear. What Taylor Swift pulls off in this album is exactly what the title is portraying. The Tortured Poets Department. It seems like a bunch of poems that come together and formulate a series of moments, a series of timestamps. And that's what resonates so well in the music. The fact that the lyrics might be her life, by her not tagging specific moments, it lets anybody take the lyrics and portray it to their own life. For people who think she still makes music for the kids or teenagers or whatever, you're too grown to listen to her music. You're too grown to resonate with what she's saying. You have been missing out. You are missing out. The lyrics on this album have depth, have substance. And I'm sure at my tender age of 36, I know y'all can resonate and understand most of these songs. So don't play me that out of 31 tracks, you act like you can't like one of them, or you can't resonate or understand and identify with one of them. That, my friend, is called being a hater for real. Because you should be able to find a track on this album that is good. Just by pure probability, the number of tracks on here, the likelihood of you liking none of them is slim to none. And for y'all to say that the album's trash and this and that means that you're hating, you're being nasty, and you're being vile for no apparent reason, because you're just hurting yourself from finding music that you could probably be falling in love with by pure hate. And I don't know why you would want to hate on art and music and not expand your horizon or get some different vibes in your life. But start with that. Start with getting rid of that negativity and opening up your eyes, your ears, and your mind. Because Taylor comes through with gems on here. And no, I ain't talking about the whole album, because even I don't really vibe with some of the songs, but that's the whole point. The probability of you liking all 31 songs is also slim to none. And there's somebody out there who likes all 31. I know there is, but it ain't this one. But despite not liking all 31, guess what? It's your boy EJ, and I'm going to rank Taylor Swift's 31 tracks. Music is art, and everybody should have an appreciation of the art. And I do believe if you give artists a chance, that you will find at least one song on every album that can change your life, help you through a moment, or give you a new anthem to move to. Good Taylor fashion, the album talks about heartbreak, love, reputations, egos, cheating, manipulation, enemies, frenemies, fakeness, haters, all and everything in between. But the difference on this album from her previous albums is the growth and the penmanship of how she expresses these subjects. Some of these lyrics are deep, some of them surface, and some just composed so craftily. It's just a perfect vibe when you're just trying to vibe. She ain't got no radio hit up on here. You ain't gonna want to be jamming to this on the way to the club. This ain't gonna get you hype on no road trip. But baby, you need to get through some emotional turmoil on a road trip, and you play this, I bet you by the time you get to track 26, she has took you to where you needed to be, to understand where you needed to go, and get to where you want it to be. Because this album will take you through a series of emotions depending on what you're going through. And sometimes it's just good background music if you're like just chilling. So either way it goes, the album is solid on both the chill front, the vibe front, but not so much if you're trying to get hyped. It's just that the depth of the album, you find something new, or you gravitate towards something new as you grow. Things start to resonate a little differently. Things start to connect a little more for other songs, and you actually find a better appreciation for a slowed down track. Which is almost hypocritical of people to say that Taylor Swift's Tortured Poets Department album is boring or dull and shit, but we over here celebrating and highlighting Ariana Grande's External Sunshine and Billie Eilish's Hit Me Hard and Soft. While both albums are definitely solid and have some great gems on them, they're both slow All three of the albums, and one of them is hype. Nothing. No. Oof. You had to be in a mood, in a moment, and had to give these albums a true listen. These albums will take you through some heartache, some sexual tension, some rediscovery of yourself. Yeah. But none of this is going to be twerking on the dance floor, throwing that ass in a circle. So I said all that to tell you this. Let's start the ranking. Here we go. Coming in at my 31st spot is Peter. I don't really resonate with it. I don't even listen to it. I listened to it a couple times. Thank you. Next three tracks is Robin, The Vulture, and Thank You, Amy. Robin, the throwaway track for me as I don't play it. It doesn't resonate enough for me to want and actually select it as a track to play. The Vulture is interesting. The depth of the lyrics, let us know how somebody who's running from love. So if you can resonate with that, The Vulture may be a track for you. And Thank You, Amy, while it is a fun track and said to be about Kim Kardashian, I listened to it. It's not a track that I will search for, but I will let play if it comes across. The next three tracks across the 4 countries resonated in the top 40. I think they were actually pretty well crafted. Also, just not the top tier. Cassandra, How Did It End? And So High School, the next up in the ranking, with So High School taking the 25th spot. Upon first listening to Cassandra, I thought it would be something I would only listen to for that one time, but it started to just jump out and play, and as I listened to it more and more, I resonated with it. So if you ever been the one to say something or told the truth that ended a relationship, ended a friendship, or just created like a hostile type situation, and you knew you stood in your truth, then this is a song for you to actually go back and listen to know that if you are shunned for speaking the truth, then hey, stand in your truth. And we're already 7 tracks in, and we're on the path to the top 20. Fun fact about the first 7 tracks is all of them are on the second album, and while you may think, oh, it might be because it's too much Taylor, it might just be because nobody listened to all 31 tracks. I got to this part of the album. No, this is just where they should be. So, yeah, sorry. The number 26 track on the combined album is my number 24th placement song, and it is The Prophecy. It will be followed by I Hate It Here and Chloe, Sophia, Sam, or Marcus. Fun fact about Chloe, Sam, Sophia, or Marcus is when I first started listening to this album, I didn't even play this song. It grew on me, resonation on what she was discussing, and I was like, oh, okay. I get it. I like it. I can focus with it. Missing out on my top 20, but resonated with all 4 countries as a top 10 placement is But Daddy, I Love Him. It's a fun track. It's one of the more upbeat tracks, and I can see why it is popular among the radio formats and folks who want to have a good vibe and jamming session, because it does more up-tempo style, but it does rank at number 21. Kicking off my top 20 at 20 is the last track on the entire album. It ranked at the lowest position possible in every country that it charted in. Understand why it is a very slow tempo, but when you get to understanding what she is saying, the depth of the song should push it more to your ear than what it previously did. Because of the depth of the lyrics, it definitely kicks off my top 20. And if you haven't really gave the manuscript a listen, I think you should definitely give it a spin with an open ear, and you might be surprised of how much you enjoy the track also. My next 3 is The Smallest Man in the World, Florida, and Love of My Life. I love what The Smallest Man in the World discusses in the song. I think it's very fun. The song also landed around the same position on the charts in every country, so I think everybody's kind of agrees it is that middle breakthrough song. And while Florida, if you initially listened to it, you either hated it or loved it. And for everybody who hated it, it did grow on me, not a lot. America, Canada, Australia, and UK all thought it was a top 10. They had an average position of 9. So, hey, good job. But not me. So at number 16 is the Alchemy. I really enjoyed this track. Very first time I listened to the album, this was my standout track. It was my top 5. I absolutely adored the Alchemy. Now this may surprise a lot of people because it was number 1 in multiple countries, but my number 15 sliding song ranked among this entire album is the lead track. It is the lead single. It is the only one that got a music video. It is Fortnite. It's not that the song is horrible, it's just I feel like there's better crafted songs and songs that just resonate more with lyrics than what Fortnite was discussing. Holding down the 14th and 13th positions are Fresh Out the Slammer, Down Bad. Down Bad was a top 10 or top 5 in the 4 countries. So everybody loved it, and it just missed out on my own top 10. Sorry, not sorry. So what beat out Down Bad? It was the final track on the first album, the bonus track, The Black Dog. Is my number 12 song, and number 11 is the Albatross. Surprisingly, not surprisingly, is that the 4 countries that I've been naming also disregarded these songs. The Black Dog averaged out at 25, and the Albatross was a 30 to 33 average positioning on the charts, which makes me believe I missed out on 2 gems. Because the Black Dog and the Albatross are tracks 17 and 19, these could have very well been skipped or rushed through as you skim the album. And I'm saying go back and give them a listen, as they just missed out on my top 10 rating. And with that, we are in the top 10. What kicks off my top 10? EJ, just avoiding his camera, says that the number 10 song on Taylor Swift's Torture Report Department album is Guilty as Sin. My ranking of the song matches the chart performance of the song, as it was 11, 12, and only a top 10 in the US. We are spot on. It is a great balance between the depth and the excitement, and a little bit up tempo without being too slow. It's a solid track. I would not be surprised if it became one of your favorites, as it kicks off my top 10. My number 9 choice may surprise a lot of people, as it was a top 5 in most countries, and it's my boy Only Breaks His Favorite Toys. I have no issues with the song. I think it's crafted very well, and it could evenly be swapped out with my next choice, which is Clara Bow. But the reason why I chose Clara over my boy is because Clara Bow brings a little different element than the rest of the entire album, and it's talking about how in the industry or even in life, you could be compared to somebody, and your comparison to them, whether it's right or wrong, could get you eliminated from the deal, pushed over the deal. I mean, it could be bad, good, and different, but we're always compared to somebody. Clara Bow, for me, is a standout track. It's a gem. It's different from the rest of the album. The countries did not agree. It was outside of the top 20 at like 21, 22 positions in all 4 countries. What was the top 5 in most countries is my number 7. And it is the title track of the album, The Torture Poets Department. But I do love this track. I play this thing daily. So if I play this daily, and it's my number 7, whoo, let's see what is outranking it. And at number 6, right outside of the top 5, is So Long London. Oh, I just love the way the melody of this song, Taylor sings with the melody, almost crafted right over it, soaring through the notes. And you almost forget that basically she's talking about a failed love and that left her stranded. I don't mean to laugh. I'm sorry. I don't mean to laugh at all, but I forgot what the song was about until I went back and listened. I was like, oh, damn, I've been celebrating this shit, and it's supposed to be a heartbreak. But yeah, So Long London. Oh, number 6 on the list. This brings us to Just Avoiding His Camera's top 5 Taylor Swift the Tortured Poet Department's songs. What are the best of the best? The top 5 songs out of 31 on her 11th studio album. Kicking off in the number 5 spot is track 25. It was on the second album that came out, and it is I Look Through People's Windows. It was barely a top 40 charting song, but if you go back and give this song a listen, you would be amazed that you probably resonate with it more than you could ever imagine, because basically, babe, it's a love that got on a train and moved away. We got loves that we lose every day by moving away. And she looks through people's windows, hoping that one day that love will look up and spot her and they will lock eyes, and whatever happens after that happens after that. I understand it. Being military, I understand it. So it definitely hits differently when you actually give the song a full listen. And by it being at track 25, I definitely can understand if you didn't make it that far. My number 4 song didn't even crack the top 20 charting positions in any of the countries that I have spoken about. And I think it is a missed song. There's just so much on the album. And songs are going to resonate differently with different people. And with this one, the title itself, I don't even fuck with the title. Like, I ain't trying to fix nobody. And I get what she's saying. And we have all tried it. Oh, I can change him. He won't do that with me. She won't do that on me. I'm different. She's different. I can be a better person with me. And sometimes it works out, and most times it don't. Okay, I can fix him. No, really, I can. It's the number 4 ranking song of the TTPD. The final 3 and the last song from the second album to chart in my top 5 was track number 18. I'ma Get You Back. Whether it's revenge, getting back together, both positive, negative, ups, down, just get back and just have sex. I don't know. But these lyrics, the beat, the song, everything about it just connects with your boy. It will be a gem that you will come to love if you don't already. It barely cracked the top 30, landing at an average position of 28-29 in all the countries. But I do feel like this song is missed opportunity. Even haters everywhere, I think this is the one that you could get down with. But I got 2 more for you if that ain't it. My number 2 rated song is I Can Do It With a Broken Heart. It was a top 5 charting song in all the countries mentioned, and it is my number 2. It is that song. It is that anthem that you need to say it doesn't matter. You ain't even got to compare it to a broken heart. Just anybody who ever tried to defeat you, anytime that you've been depressed, was wondering why you was here, lost a little bit of motivation, but you still had to perform at work. You still had to go to school. You still had to teach. You still had to get married. Whatever the case is, dance your ass off as a backup dancer. This is it. But it says that no matter what you're going through, you can still perform at your best. That right there is what you need in your life as an anthem, and that is why it takes the runner-up spot as the best song on Taylor Swift's album, which means there's only 1 spot left. And if you are a Swiftie, you should know what song is left. If you are just here to see my video and you're not a fan of Taylor, you may not know. And if I make you a new fan of Taylor, hey, I did my job as an influencer. So the number 1 song on my list for T Swizzle and the Tortured Poets Department was a top 10 in the countries mentioned. It landed at an average position of 9, and it is Who's Afraid of Little Old Me? Just for obvious reasons, the title itself will put it in the top 10. Oh yes, Who's Afraid? The way she sings it, the way she drops her note into that raspy, deep voice, almost giving you a little Toni Braxton vibe. It's crafted, produced, performed. Can't say enough about this. I could get my tongue tied, I twisted and tied, and everything else in between. Over the last 5 months, it has been that song for me, and it is so enjoyable. And if you haven't, if you don't know about it, if it didn't hit you, if you didn't think anything about this song, hey, go back and give it a listen to. And let me know what you think about this being my number one song choice, being the number one song on the Torture Pork Department album, their top 10, top 20 in general. What is your top 5, top 10, top 20 songs of Taylor Swift's The Torture Pork Department album? Let your boy know. Give the album a chance if you haven't before, or give it another chance if you thought it wasn't for you. Thank you for watching. It's your boy EJ, and this was just a boy in this camera.